Welcome. This is Will at Work. I'm Kevin. Today we're looking at Spy Hunter. It's another one of these little arcade machines. This one is by Basic Fun, who released that mini Atari joystick we looked at some time ago, and people didn't really like that thing. I'm not sure what they think of this. It's a little bit bigger than those micro ones we see from my arcade. It's a bit larger. It has a larger button over here, joystick style thing. Feels okay. There's on, off, etc. It does have a try me mode. Let's take a look at that. I remember Spy Hunter in the arcade. It was very popular. You could find it in a lot of places. I also found it rather difficult when I played it as a kid. Part of the reason why is when you went from low to high gear, you really picked up speed, and if you hit anything, you basically exploded. But you had to kind of go fast because there were guys on your tail, and they were going to mess you up. So, it's a classic game. This looks okay. Thinking maybe those are stickers. Yeah, it looks like they're stickers, which, you know how it is. Like, stickers maybe not as good as, won't last as long. So it's a little cheap. Probably an NES on a chip type game, not the actual arcade version. But I can't say for sure. I'll find that out and put it in the show notes. Race in the G6155 Interceptor while you take out enemy vehicles. Be careful and protect civilian vehicles. Watch out for helicopters that drop bombs. Use special weapons, oil slicks, smoke screens, and surface-to-air missiles to help in your mission. Now, normally, I don't open these, but I've kind of made a decision about that. And the decision is that I'm going to open it. And the reason why is because it has a battery in it. And the thing is that I can't let it sit with batteries, especially cheap batteries, right? Because they're going to end up leaking and ruining it. And so, having one that's unopened is actually worse than having one that's not. Plus, it has a try me feature on it to begin with. So it's sort of like, saying like, everyone in the world has touched your thing, and now you can touch it too. Or you can't touch it, but they all can. Now, see, this is the kind of thing, though. This is the sort of thing I dread. Because it's like getting it out of there without destroying the box. Real challenge, right? And but otherwise, there's no way to get those batteries out of there. And I can't let them sit. So, but, yeah, give me a second here. Figure this out. We can figure it out together. Look how they taped all this. Like, really kind of went crazy with it, didn't they? Like, if these plastic things weren't going to work, we really don't want people to steal this without destroying the box, is what they're saying. It's like, all right, well, some of us want to preserve the box. We don't care too much about the tape. Remove these little mounts. Not making a mess of everything. It's kind of like an unboxing, but in the worst kind of way. Now, I'm definitely not going to go back and open up the other ones to do this. If I run across them in my spare time, I may take a look. One thing I was thinking about doing is, down the road, after this whole process is done, is cleaning up some of the dirtier, older consoles, especially some of those Pongs, and making them look all nice. And getting them to work 100%. Another thing I was thinking about doing is collecting, not so much collecting, but creating a collection of systems that are modded, right? To sort of have like the complete modded, system going back as far as you can get to whatever those mods are, and having like a fully, loaded, modded console for that generation for a variety of reasons. Not so much that I want to go back and play the games without having to pay for them or something, because I mean at this point with a lot of these old consoles, the original publishers aren't going to be making any money off of games, even if you buy them used, or very rarely if you can find one new. But less that, it's more along the lines of that's interesting. They have the battery sort of taped off here, but yet you can still put it into demo mode and play it, so that makes no sense to anyone. But the other half of it is the fact that I think like it's more about like a longevity type of thing in terms of being able to access the system and play the library of titles. It kind of goes hand in hand with the redump thing that's going on with archive.org. Like they have the legal ability to create sort of a library of defunct games and titles for systems that are no longer around, in order to preserve that heritage. But what good is that if you can't actually use any of that stuff because the hardware doesn't really support your ability to play a burned disc, right? Or a ROM or something. And we have all these emulators that play ROMs, but if you want to play that stuff on genuine hardware, which is what they were developed for, it's really kind of difficult with all the copy protection and everything. So anyway, it's just some thoughts I have in my head. All right, let's take a look at this. It's very quiet too. It's like not a lot of oh, I see. It's like a one button. Well, this looks like more of a NES version to me. So you have the indestructible car that tries to push you everywhere. And then you can get in the back of the rig. Yeah, this joystick's not great. Trying to see like if I can switch gears here. It says gear shift. If I push all the way up, go in the same speed. Pull down, go in the same speed. Seems like speed doesn't have any... Doesn't seem like speed has any impact on what I'm doing here. I gotta tap it. Now I've got at least something. So I gotta tap it up twice to go fast. I have smoke screen. Yeah, because you do have a bit of a time limit to get where you're going. Alright, well we get the idea. That's Spy Hunter. I'm going to pop these batteries out. But, classic game, I kind of like these little bit more obscure ones that, they were popular at the time, but they're not, the same Atari ones that we see all the time. Like, I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. I like this one. There's a Street Fighter 2 one out there now, but I think it's sold out as of June 2021. But I'm sure they'll make more of them, unless they have some weird license. But, Yeah, it's sort of like the more, I don't need another Space Invaders. I don't need another Pac-Man. We got tons of Atari stuff, you know. There's so many other great arcade games that are out there, and if you're gonna make like a little arcade style collection, it would be cool to have the more obscure ones, and not. I like a multi-system as much as, you know, the next guy. Obviously, I've certainly collected my fair share of those, but I like the branding of the single game. Like, if you want to put more games on it, I'm all for that. But I like the branding of just the one. You know, it's kind of like you get the art and everything from the original arcade cabinet. It's pretty cool. I do like it when they're kind of loud. Although it's not great for this video, but it reminds me of how arcades were. I mean, games were loud. It didn't feel right when you played an arcade game and the volume was low, or you couldn't like hear it at all. You felt like you weren't getting your money's worth because the sound of the system was, you know, half the draw as far as I'm concerned. It kind of pulls you in. Oh, you're gonna be a pain in my ass, I can tell already. Stupid twisty tie things. See, this is what you got to do. I've read a lot online recently too about people that like don't like console collectors because, you know, we're driving up prices on shit. But, you know, I don't think it's so much actually the console collector. I think they're more mad about the game collectors that are out there, which I also find to be like odd because I don't know how many people other than collectors are going out and purchasing you know, Sega Saturn games or something, you know, just to play them. Like, that's got to be a very niche market. So it's sort of like maybe it's more or less one collector complaining about other collectors because they're driving the prices up and now they can't get things as cheap as they used to. I don't know. I certainly am not in the spend money like it's Water Club. I know I have a lot of systems, but I bought most of them on the cheap. The only time I'll pay a premium for something is, you know, if it's very, very rare and it needs to fill a gap in my collection. Otherwise, I'll wait for it to come back around again. I'm not going to give somebody a whole bunch of money just because I don't feel like waiting. I'll wait. It's no problem. You know, but if an Adventure Vision shows up and it's in pristine condition and it works, it's in a box and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to throw some money down on that. May not win, but I'd throw some money down. You've got some kind of like, you know, boy, at this point it's even hard to name systems that I don't have. Like if you have some sort of, like a Bandai Pladia. I think that's more educational. I don't really carry that. You know, it's pristine in the box and everything, and you want like $1,000 for it. I'm not giving it to you. Not me. Maybe somebody. Anyway, Spy Hunter. It's okay. It's not great, but it plays. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.